Hello friends, in this chapter we will cover the following points: electrical capacitance of a conductor, method to increase charge of a conductor, equation of capacitance, unit of capacitance, electrical capacitance and energy density of an electric field, energy stored in a capacitor. A capacitor is a device that stores electrical energy. It is a passive electronic component with two terminals. The effect of capacitor is known as capacitance. Most capacitors contains at least two electrical conductors, often in the form of metallic plates or surfaces separated by a dielectric medium. This picture here indicates the various capacitors available in the market. We start by the understanding of the capacitance of a conductor. That is, what is the limit of charging? Now, if we have a conductor and we keep charging it, so there is a limit. Now, let us understand this in details. Now, limit of charging is maximum capacity a conductor can hold, and after which the charge will overflow out and call it charges leaking out of a conductor. Now, in simpler words, say, let's take a simple example of an empty bucket. Once it's filled, you've opened the tap, once it's filled with water, we can visually see the water flowing. Therefore, we can close the tap. But however, in case of a conductor, when the charges overflow or a conductor is connected to a circuit, the charges are overflowing in it. Now, what we call this here is a leak. Okay, but it is not visible. You, like a tap where you know the bucket is overflowing, you can close it. Here you don't know when the leakage has started. So once we start giving charge to a conductor, we need to switch off the current before charges start ionizing with air. Once the ionization starts in the air, we will assume the capacity is full, and any further charging of the conductor will only leak out. So once the ionization starts, that is the point we know it will start leaking out. Okay. How do we increase the charge in a conductor? So basically you've understood a capacitor is a device that stores electrical energy. If we take a plate and keep giving it charge, it can store some energy beyond which the leakage will start. In case we want to increase the charge on this conductor, we can do the following things. So these are few methods that we can apply to increase more charge, more energy on that conductor, that plate. Okay, number one is keep the conductor in some other medium. Presently, whichever medium it is, when the ionization starts, so it will start leaking. So keep the conductor in some other medium, a medium whose breakdown is more. Then when the extra charge is given, the ionization is late. So leakage time is delayed. Okay, this is method one. Now method two, if we want to give more charge to a conductor plate, we can bring another plate. This is the plate, we bring another plate. So what happens when the plates are close enough, due to induction, charges from first plate will move to the second plate, and the first plate will always be empty to receive more and more charges. Okay. Now comes method 3. In method 3, what we do is, if we earth the plate, the second plate, if we take a wire and connect it to the earth. So all the charges that is coming from the first plate due to induction on the second plate will start getting passed through to the earth. Hence, more charge from plate 1 can flow to the second plate. So hence more charge can be deposited on the other plate. So first method is, in case we change the medium, so that the ionization point is delayed. The second is with one conductor plate, we place another conductor plate. Okay. The third method is in case the second plate that we have connected, we earth it down to, like we connect it with a wire and put it down to the earth. So again, more charge can flow from the first to the second. Now comes the fourth point. In fourth point, whenever we add a dielectric medium, so between these two plates, when we add some dielectric medium, which can be a liquid or a slab or a combination, the electric field will reduce. Therefore, capacitance will increase. So we will study the derivations and various formulas for this combination in coming up video. However, this is the fourth method by adding a liquid or slab dielectric material. Now the fifth arrangement is by arranging the capacitor in parallel and series. By different combinations, how the capacitors are connected together in the circuit, this also can increase the capacitance. Okay, these are the five methods which will be covering up into these videos, and there will be various derivations and various formulas that you keep noting it down as the video goes on. Now, electrical capacitance of a conductor is the measure of its ability to hold electric charge. When an insulated conductor is given some charge, it acquires a certain potential. If we increase the charge on a conductor, its potential also increases. So when we increase the charge, the potential is also increasing. So charge is Q and directly proportional to potential, which is V. So charge is proportional to potential. The proportionality constant C is called the capacitance. So what is the C? C is the proportionality constant. And so the formula becomes Q equals to CV. So if we have to remove this proportionality, we will write C is equal to a constant C. So what is C? C is the capacitance. So the formula for capacitance will become C is equal to charge by potential. That is C is equal to Q by V. Unit of capacitance is farad. The capacitance of a conductor is 1 farad if the addition of charge is 1 coulomb, which increases the potential by 1 volt. So this is a definition that you can note down. Sometimes just what is 1 farad and what is the SI unit for a capacitance can be asked. Now 1 farad is a very large unit. So practical unit is taken as milli, micro or pico farad. For fans and pumps, we use micro. For transistors, computers, we use pico. So for fans, micro, and pico for transistors. This is the value, the various values for the different farads. Okay. Capacitance depends on the geometry. Okay. Size, shape, permittivity, presence of other conductors, etc. To devise another formula for capacitance on the basis of area, shape and volume. So we have already derived a formula, that is C is equal to capacitance equals to charge by potential. Now in terms of, if we have to take it out in terms of area, shape, volume, what will be the same capacitance formula? If like these terms are given, we have been given the area, we have given the shape, so what will be the capacitance? Now we know charge for a plate can be written as, charge Q can be written as sigma into area. Okay. And potential can be written as electric field into dr. Now E here, this electric field can also be written as sigma by permittivity. Okay. So once we write it down, cancelling sigma from the denominator and sigma from the numerator, what are we left with? We are left with a new formula, that is capacitance C equals to permittivity into area by distance between the plates. So this is a new formula that is derived. So this is like a capacitor of plate 1, plate 2 and the area formula, this will be the formula used. Capacitance and energy density of a spherical conductor. So if we have to take out a capacitance for a spherical conductor, what will be the formula for that? Okay, now calculating electrical capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. We know potential for spherical conductor is, what is the formula for potential? The basic formula we know, capacitance is equal to Q by V. But another formula for potential is potential equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R. So once we substitute that value, which is this formula, okay. So once we substitute this formula here in the value of potential V, then we get this, we can delete Q from the denominator and Q from the numerator. We are left with 4 pi epsilon R. So this becomes our another formula, which is for the capacitance of a spherical conductor with radius R. Now comes energy density. So we will also cover energy density of an electric field in the outside conductor here. So what we are going to do is, the work done in charging process is used in creating the electric field. So we can say energy density equals to total energy by volume. So this is the total energy by volume. Okay. Here we are using energy formula as half CV square. You remember U formulas that we have done in the previous video? So the energy formula half UV square, which is explained and derived in the previous slide. Okay. Now here volume is written as volume. So now the formula for C is capacitance, which in term with area formula. Remember the area formula? Just in the previous slide here that we have derived. Which one? This one, area formula. Okay. So this formula that we are going to put here. So we can, permittivity can be written as, this can be written, C can be written as 1 epsilon naught A by 2T. The potential, that is this, V square. Potential can be written as E dot dr. So we write E square because it's square here. So E square D square by volume can be written as area into distance. Now we can delete area and area here, distance and distance here. So we are left with half epsilon naught dot ER. So energy density formula becomes this. You can note this down, please. Thank you. The work done in charging the capacitor is stored as its electrical potential energy. So in the coming up slide, we will derive 3 formulas for energy, and we'll start here. Okay, so first we'll derive this formula. The capacitance is being given, is giving charge. Okay, if for instance a small charge Q is given, then work done. What will be the formula for work done? Work done will be equal to charge into potential. Okay, here potential, this value for potential can be written as Q by C. So if we multiply Q, so that becomes Q square, and this comes here to C. So Q square by 2, and we can write half Q square by C. We have integrated, that is how it becomes this value. After integration. Okay, this is the first formula that we have derived for energy. Here, this is the first formula that's coming from this end. Now derivation of second formula. Here we know what we are trying to derive from this formula. We are trying to derive half CV square, which is also the formula for energy. Okay, so we know energy is equal to half Q square by C. That is coming from this formula here. Okay, now we also know Q can be written as Q is equal to CV. Replacing CV formula here in Q, replacing that with CV, so we get half CV square by VC square by C. Deleting C from the denominator and numerator, we are left with half CV square. So this becomes energy formula number 2. Okay, deriving the third energy formula. Now from this we are going to derive half QV, this formula again for energy. We know energy equals to half CV square, which is coming from here. Okay, and C is equal to, what is the formula? Q is equal to CV, so we know C is equal to QV. Okay, now putting the value of C here, putting the value of C, we get half QV by V square. This is V square, and in place of C we have written this QV. So we get this. This numerator and denominator gets cancelled and we are left with half QV. So these are the three formulas for energy. I hope this session was useful to you. Thank you.